Bruchim Abom, Shir in the Parshas HaShavua, over here in Kahal Kesed Torah, 1292 Ocean Parkway, Brooklyn. So Shishi, Parshat Boy, Tavshan Ein Ches. Any ha'aras on the Shir can be sent to Be'ezras HaBoyri, BEZRAS, HABORAI at hotmail.com. Let's start the parsha. The parsha begins with the words Boyal Pari. Now when it's the famous question, the Chorah should say Lechal Pari, right? Because aren't we, that Moshe are not coming to Pari, they're going to Pari. It wasn't Boyal Pari. So again, the Ikad Devei Torah is based on the Chedushim of a Rebbe Rav Shmuel Ben Baal Mir Sheshiva. Sichas Kosher Rocha Schusar Gen Lev Kol Yisrael. So what's his diverse? Boyal Paroi. I'm worried to get pasuk Boyal Paroi. Chorz Zeh Lechal Paroi. So the Farshim will say, Hashem was telling Moshe and Aaron, he says, Hashem was telling Moshe and Aaron, he says, you're not going, you're coming. Boy means come with me, come. Not go like I'm staying here and you're going, but boy indicates coming with the Moshe himself. Hashem says, I'm with you, what are you worried about? All the threats of Pari, he says, no need to worry about it, he says, I'm with you, I'm going to help you. I'm coming with you, where we go. Now, I'm going to say a very interesting pasuk, and that is, pasuk starts out, we'll drop further, and talks about the Gvaldige Makas B'chayr Sissing Parsha. That was like the end of all the Makot. If the Makas B'chayr Pari gives over, says, get out of here, go, leave. But one thing, all the first was the same question. It says in Makas B'chayr, it says, Vayokim Pari. In the middle of the night, boom. Every Bechor gets wiped out. Bechor Pari, Bechor Hashvi, Bechor Bishop, everyone. Vayokim Pari. Pari wakes up. Gets up. From where does he get up? Says Rashi, Vayokim Pari, Pasuk Lamed, Mimitato. From his bed. All Farshim asks, what's Rashi come to tell us here? He got up from where? From his bed. He was a teacher. Farshim said, where do you word like this? They said as follows. How can a sane person, I don't care how crazy you are, how could a sane person go to sleep on a night that he knows that every Bechor in Mitzrayim is going to be killed out? And maybe tell me he has no Amunah Moshe, doesn't believe in Aaron. But please, they were right 9 out of 9 times. If a guy comes to you, the guy could be, even Chasham, a crazy person. But if he tells you something that happens 9 times in a row, batting, they say in English is batting 1,000, L'chayra, you have to believe him, right? Even not how crazy you are. How can it be that Pari is able to not just not care, he's a Bechor himself too, but he's able to actually go to bed, go to sleep. At least at night you people stay up, see, I'm curious what's going to be at the Chatzos, drinking coffee, maybe you sit up and eat chol or something, right? He goes to bed, he goes to sleep. It sounds like a thing that someone's irrational. Someone maybe is chashush crazy. What does that mean? How can you go to sleep on such a night? Right? My Rebbe said like this. He says, when a person, I said, where did you go for this? He said, this word can change your life. He said as follows. Is when a person, let's assume when President Bush decided to go to war with Iraq, with Afghanistan, he knew soldiers are going to die. Every war, there's casualties. Derech HaTeva. Obviously, Kodesh Baruch Hu could make it, there's no casualties. There's so much from Chemes Midian now, and the different men wish, now one person died. But normal Muhammad, there's casualties on both ends. A few thousand soldiers died. I think about 5,000 soldiers died. Maybe 100,000 injured. 50,000 general. What did he do it for? You know why? He said America's in danger. This guy supports terrorism. And they have to sacrifice, even if it's 1,000 or 5,000, 10,000, whatever the soldiers it is, to protect a few 100 million people in America. America has over 300 million people. So to protect the homeland, we have to sacrifice a Muhammad. It costs trillions and billions or trillions of dollars. It costs a fortune of money. So look at that. Was Bush able to sleep at night? Yeah. He made a decision, went to sleep. Wasn't tossing and turning at night. Saddam Hussein, when he decided, I'm going to fight America. America told him, take all your money, take all your everything you want, and get out of there. He says, no, I'm going to fight America, he says. He couldn't sleep at night, he also slept at night. He made a decision, it's going to war, that's it. Happens, it's going to happen. He doesn't care, doesn't care how many people die, doesn't care who dies, doesn't care what dies, he's going to Muhammad. She was like this, where did they go line? He said like this. He says, Paro made a decision, he says, him and HaKadosh Baruch Hu are at war. Hashem wants kacha, and he wants kacha. That's it, the decision he made. So I'm not going to listen to you, he says, Akshanos Halevi says, I'm not going to bend, he says. I'm not going to bend. No one's going to tell me what to do. He doesn't care if there's Barad, if there's Arba, if they wiped out every inch of grass in Mitzrayim. They wiped out every animal in Mitzrayim, he doesn't care, right? From all the Mitzrayim. He doesn't care if they wipe out every Bechor in Mitzrayim. If they kill him, his own Bechor doesn't care. He made a conscious decision. I'm going to war, he says. He's like Shonas told him, I'm not going to be told what to do. No one's going to dictate terms. No one's going to push me around. Yeah, Mashi, he says. He went to sleep. Lay down in bed, he went to sleep. You think about it, Mashi says. Especially when we toss it. It wasn't a pshat, it was decisive. He was decisive. No one does me, I don't care. I'm taking my heels. Like Hitler, Machshema. He wouldn't surrender by World War II till he came Mamish into Berlin. Could have saved, who knows how many lives. He doesn't care, he says. Right, right? Until they came to police, he said in German, he says, a Deutsch geht sich nicht unter, he says. A German doesn't surrender. The Mamish wiped out Dresden, bombed them, wiped them. Russia from this side, America from here, him from here. Couldn't kill us. Till the last minute, he sat there, let them all drop dead. They couldn't kill us. He doesn't surrender. He couldn't sleep at night, so fine. He doesn't sleep. He's going to war. Pare decided he's not going to listen to Hashem no matter. Come with me. Maki after Maki after Maki. He said, I'm not going to listen. Until Maki's Bechoros, he find no choice. After all the Bechorim died, like the Chazal said, Maki was time of Bechorim, the Bechorim themselves rebelled. They says, what's going on? He had no choice already. Okay, get out of here. But it raised a very simple question. What are we reading about Pare for? What's the whole point of reading about it for? It's not reading about a crazy person. What do you call it? A narcissist? An egomaniac? Why would the Torah spend so many parshas and so many psukim about a guy who seems to be nuts? Irrational. Crazy. Hashem talks to you. Hashem says, what Hashem ask of him? You should finish Shas? You should give a donation to Lakewood Yeshiva? He says, let my people go. Stop killing my people. Stop working them to death. Stop killing the Jewish babies. Stop bathing in the blood, he says. It's reasonable, no? Enough already. How can he be like that? He didn't learn 1, 2, 3, 9 Makkos. What's the shot? Why are we reading about it altogether? Because it's hard to read about such a guy. Again, doesn't listen. It sounds almost like he's crazy. He said a big aside. He says, every person today is Paro, he says. Where did the line? The Torah is not a history book. Oh, there was a crazy king Paro and he... Blah, 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 blah. No. The Torah is a Torah's Chaim. They're talking to us. He says, the Torah is talking to the guy, he says, you are like Paro, he says. She says, Hashem talks to every person, he says. There's no one that Hashem doesn't speak to, he says. In good ways. A guy is zeicher to get to come by mitzvah. Zeicher to get married. Zeicher to have children. Zeicher to marry off grandchildren, grandchildren, great. Zech to buy a house, to buy a car, to buy this, to buy Hashem is with you. Hashem is working with you. What's Hashem asking of you? Is Hashem unreasonable? He tells you spend one day a week Shabbos with your family, right? Cross the line Shabbos, as a Sanak al Hashem. Hashem, is anything unreasonable from us that we can't do? Hashem tells us, He says, keep the holidays. I'll give you a vacation, Pesach, Shavuot, Sukkot. Hashem tells you, V'kistu Yom Lai, you learn the Torah. The Toivlonu Kol Hayamim, the Torah says. Hashem gave us Torah about the Toivlonu Kol Hayamim. Doing Hashem a favor, making Hashem rich. Making Hashem, Toivlonu Kol Hayamim. It's for you. The child eats his syrup from the mother. He's doing his mother a favor. Doing yourself the biggest favor. This is Gehem Chayin, this is life itself. What does Hashem ask of us? To go on my ways, to listen to the Torah, to do the Torah Kol Yomim. Hashem didn't give us the Torah to make life hard for us, He gave us that to make life easy for us. Look at a guy without Torah, a guy with no control, no nothing. Look at the guy. The guy's a miserable person. He feels like an animal. And with the Torah, you feel like a malach. Visam Kelakim. And yet, a lot of us have a Shem Akshonas. Very hard for a person to change. That's what it is. Rabbi Soslanta said it's easier for a person to learn the whole Shas. The whole Shas, let me tell you, it's not easy to learn. And to know it, he says. Not just to read, to know it. Than to change one midah, he says. A guy's a kaisen, always angry. Just can't control himself. Everything is angry. Everything is angry. A guy's always stingy. A guy's always this. A guy's always yelling. A person, the akshonas of ki ichbalti asliba kvedas halev is a problem that we all have. That we don't want to change. We want to stay the same. We want things to stay the same. How many people can say, I'm better this year than last year? I'm coming Thursday night to another shir. I'm coming Monday night to another shir. I'm praying another 10 minutes every day. I'm giving another few dollars to charity. I'm doing something better. I'm getting better. I'm working on myself. I'm accomplishing. We're all Pari. Pari's not a history guy. Pari's not going to waste one letter on a nut job, on egomaniac, on a narcissist, on a Russia like that to tell you he did that, listen. No, Pari's talking to us. How hard it is for us to change. How we always want to stay the same. And a person is meant to be oila. Visam Kelakim, a malach stays the same. But a person has a chance to go higher and higher. And expected to go higher and higher. Day by day, weekly, month by month, he says. If you're doing the same we did yesterday, it means that's no good. They say in Yiddish, as we're straight faltman. If you're staying in the same place, it means you're falling. Just like money, right? Take the money from 10 years ago, right? 20 years ago, try to buy a house today. Can't. So if the money's not growing, it's falling. Put $100,000 away under your mattress, right? Okay? Come back 25 years later. It's... I don't know if you hopefully you buy some house for Shabbos. I don't know what's going to be. You know what I'm saying? Right? If it's not growing, it's falling. Torah also. And yet we have the akshonos, whatever was yesterday was today, tomorrow, it's good enough, whatever. I'm blah, blah, blah. To bend our necks, to want to listen to the message that Hashem gives us. Hashem talks to us, and He asks us. B'chol yoyim v'yoyim baskel yoytze me'ar chayriv v'oymer oylehem labriyas mil boyne shel Torah. How can you waste your life with all the heavily hazman and all the shtuyot? Probably you have to want to listen to that voice, right? So if you don't have Wi-Fi, you don't catch it. You understand? If you don't have the connection, you don't hear it. You hear all the shtuyot, Trump, sports. This Mishigas, that Mishigas, Bitcoin, every Mishigas you hear about. But that Baskel, every day Hashem says, the Elben HaTorah. We have a chance to learn the Torah, Torah's Merkle Karen Zovis. We have a chance to learn the Torah and understand it and follow the ways and break our midas. Better ourselves. Shabbat Masechem. We're like Pari. There's no difference, he just stays the same. No one tells him what to do. He stays to nobody. The lessons of this parashas is the whole lead up to Matan Torah. Kabbalah Satira, to the Mishpatim from Torah, to the Kamas HaMishkan, have to uproot the pride from among us. We cannot be Akshanim. We cannot create a Halev. We have to do. We have to do. We have to accomplish. I want to say another point, which is say another point, which is very also being decided. Say another point, and that is Oisha says, "Kachatzois halayla, ani yotzi b'sech Mitzrayim." I'm going to go into Mitzrayim. He says, like at chatzos, like at chatzos, like at chatzos. That's it. Like at chatzos. Why? So Mara says that Yosef said, Moshe Rabbeinu said, he doesn't want to say chatzos mamish because they shouldn't go ahead and what do you call it? They shouldn't go ahead and they shouldn't call him a liar. I'll say it's not true. Look, it's a little earlier, it's a little later, you're not accurate. Rabbi said, let me tell you this is something. If you go to a Chacham, to a Baba, he tells you, Zad Hashem, Chodesh Adar, you're going to win the lottery, you're going to make $100 million. Well, you win the lottery, it's Harish Chodesh Adar, it's Beis Adar. You going to say he's a liar? Zakaman tells you win 100, he tells you win $125 million. And with the exact amount, a day later. You call him a liar? You call Moshe a liar? Every Bechor gets killed out, but not at Chatzos, it was 10 after 12. Because they're the wrong cloud. Moshe Rabbeinu have to say Chatzos and it might come to lie. Everybody's the same question. See from Shachem, where did he get teretz? He says that there'll be a Chil Hashem for a few minutes, he says. For a few minutes, people are going to say, they're going to laugh. And they're going to say, baloney, Moshe Rabbeinu is full of baloney, this he can't do, he has his own limits, etc., etc. Moshe Rabbeinu says, you think I can't do, he says? I'm sure I could do, he says. He says, I don't want even, you should think for 1 minute, you should be Chil Hashem, he says. See, he purposely goes ahead and changes it, and says, he says, because a Chil Hashem, for 1 minute, is also Chil Hashem, he says. Even later you can explain it, no, the clock was wrong, this was wrong, he says. He said, where did you say it? He said, in America they call it the first impression. And he used to always explain as follows. He said like this. He says, the first impression is the most powerful impression. Why? He says from the word of Rabbi says, if he walks Dalet Amos without Torah, without Tefillin, without learning Torah, without learning Tefillin, he says it's Chil Hashem. She put up the rice someplace, he was a Chol Ma'arech Motzam. He had, stomach issues. So he couldn't always wear Tefillin. What's a Chil Hashem for, he says? Because people don't see that right away, he says. He gave an example as follows. He says, L'havdil, everyone knows, Marshall, in sports, they pay, let's say, a baseball player to drink Coke. They give a baseball player, a big player, a cup of Coke. And he says, this is my favorite drink, he says. Opens the cup, he drinks it down. Right? He says, these are my favorite shoes. This is my favorite car. This is my favorite watch. This is the favorite thing I used to shave. And they pay millions of dollars for that. I think one baseball player gets like tens of millions of dollars to call sneakers. It's called his sneakers, understand? It's called the Jordan sneakers. He gets millions of dollars a year for that. But let me ask you a question. People are really so stupid. You think this guy really loves Coke? Someone probably drinks Pepsi. But probably drinks the Chvei Start and Mountain Dew. Maybe just drinks orange juice altogether, doesn't drink Coke all the... I don't know if he's getting paid for it. So why does the Taka sell soda for? People are Taka so stupid. Oh, this is my favorite watch, my favorite. Come on, everyone knows he's getting paid for it. Everyone knows he's hired, and everyone knows that he's going ahead and he's just it's a paid commercial. So why is it that people are influenced by it? And companies are not stupid. They're not paying millions of dollars for nothing. They know that advertising works in such a way. It's called endorsements. Don't you know he's getting paid for it? What are you impressed for? He says like this. He says, you see a commercial. You see this guy, this ball player, this golf player, whoever he is. You see him going ahead and drinking this type of soda. You see him eating this type of food. He says, the first thing that hits your head, that's the hashkafa rishon, it's called the first impression. You associate the Coke, the Budweiser, with this guy. You see, his hero drinks Budweiser. Now, even though if a minute later you think in your head and you say, I know he got paid for this, he's not doing it for free, I'm Stamets baloney, he just put on a show. But the first impression sticks, he says. Can't get that out of your head. The first impression is the most important impression you make in life. It's like you go to a store to buy a suit, they say, right? So you go to the store to buy a suit, pick out as soon as you walk in, one suit catches your eye. Okay? Pick out the suit. He says, after that, you can look through the whole store, find 50 other suits. 9, they say, I don't know how many percentage of the time, most of the time, you want to go into the first impression. First impression? Not this first impression person is. This is the first impression. She would say like this. She said, murder. Nash murder, he says. He says, Chil Hashem, even for 1 minute, he says. You're right, you can explain yourself later. No, it's not what I meant, it's not what I meant, it's not what I did, it's not what I wanted. But that sticks in your head. Rabbi Yochanan said, I walked around without learning Torah, walking around without tefillin, he says, and a guy sees it. Look, Rabbi Yochanan, sitting there without. That stays in your head, he says. Even though you can explain, oh, it's not the pshat, it's not the reason, there's the cheshbon, that's the cheshbon. That's all the answers, he says. But the first impression stays. That's what he called the Chil Hashem. Let's say another point. It says that Moshe was great, Be'enei Avdei Mitzrayim Be'enei Ha'am. It says Moshe Rabbeinu was very, right before we read the pasuk says, Ve'ish Moshe was Gadol Ma'od, he was great in the eyes of Mitzrayim, the eyes of the Ha'am. The question is, after Moshe Rabbeinu brought such miserable makas on the Mitzrayim, right? He brought such miserable makas on them. How can the pasuk say that he was great in the eyes of the and the eyes of Mitzrayim? They should have hated him. He should have needed 10 bodyguards to protect him, walk around him in the street even. This Moshe brought this makkah. This Moshe brought that makkah. This Moshe brought the third makkah. He brought all these makkahs on them. How did they not hate him? How could Moshe be Gadol Ma'od Ben Mitzrayim Ben Ha'am? What does the pasuk mean by that? Pelfar Akasha. Why wasn't the most hated person? The Rebbe said as follows. He says, Moshe Rabbeinu was called Eved Hashem. It's called Eved Hashem. You know Moshe Eved Hashem? He says, what's called Eved Hashem? He says. And Eved means, he says, that everything you do only for your master. An Eved has no money, no bank account. Okay? He has no money, he has no bank account. Right? Even the child from a shivcha is like a child from Behemoth, understand? He has his own freedom. All he has is do what his master wants. Do the return of his master. No personal gain, no personal nothing. Not working for himself, he has nothing to gain. It's Moshe Rabbeinu. V'yom Hashem Moshe Eved Hashem. The biggest praise in life you can get, you're an Eved Hashem. Charles, your whole focus in life on Hashem, Keni Avdecha. I'm your servant, right? Halu Avdei Hashem. The biggest praise you can get, you're a servant of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Eved Melech, right? Eved Melech. Eved Melech. He says like this. He says, Moshe Rabbeinu was a Shechina with the Beres Hadachron. The Shechina spoke from his mouth. Why? He did nothing from his own. He was, like he's saying, that he was the Shechina Alein Kaviyachol. He represented the Baruch Shalom. He had no personal bakoshes. He had no personal wants. All he wanted was to give over,